Alright, folks, what is going on? It is now March 3rd of 2025, although as I'm recording this, it's actually just finished before the March 2nd, but still. Anyway, uh, we'll just go with March 3rd, and this is an important date in Nintendo's history. And why is that? Well, because it is now 8 years 8 years since the Nintendo Switch launched. And, yeah. So, 8 years is a long time for one console to be considered current, especially by Nintendo standards. But that is obviously going to be changing pretty soon with the release of the Nintendo Switch 2. And yeah, now how I got my Switch, of course, was at a convention that no longer exists, mainly because of COVID and other reasons. So, yes, I got my Switch in originally in July of 2018, and I enjoyed it a lot since then. So, yeah, like I got to play a lot of great games on it, and I figured that I would go over some of my favorite games that I've enjoyed playing on the Switch. One of which, of course, being Super Mario Odyssey, and that game, of course, came out in 2017, and was the Nintendo Switch uh, 3D Mario. A great game. A lot of moons to collect, and yeah, overall just a really fun time. Although it's not a fun time was the fact that Bowser was trying to chase after Princess Peach again. What else is new? But yeah, still really fun game to play. And of course, another really good game that I've enjoyed on the Switch a lot is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And it's not just me, this has actually been a popular game for many people on the Nintendo Switch. Because as of right now, there have been, I think the current numbers are like 65 million or something sold for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is, it's pretty damn impressive, not gonna lie. It, okay, so, yeah. Yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe definitely a system seller for sure for the Switch. This will probably be the case as well when the new Mario Kart comes out on the new Switch, which again will likely be in a few months, and that's also going to be pretty exciting. But so yeah, if you still do not have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe yet for the Switch, definitely get it. It's a lot of fun. Although with the Switch 2 coming out, maybe it might be better for people to save for the new system. Save the new system and wait on the new Mario Kart game. I mean, at this point in the Switch's life cycle, that would probably be the best thing to do, but I digress. I mean, who am I to tell people how to spend their time and money? What else have been? There have also been some other really good games that I've enjoyed on the Switch over the 8 years that the system has been around. One, of course, being Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which, of course, is it's the game that basically made Kirby take the foray into 3D instead of 2D. Lots of cool environments in that game, and yeah, lots of cool environments, like, lots of cool stages, and of course the music. The music in that game is like, oh my god, it is some of the best music ever in. It's some of the best music ever in Nintendo history. Like, again, like, anytime you hear Kirby music, it just puts a smile on your face. So that's another great game that I've enjoyed on there, along with uh, along with the various Pokemon games that are on the Nintendo Switch. One, of course, being Pokemon Legends Arceus, which was, I mean, it's considered part of the mainline series of Pokemon games, and it's, yeah, like in these games they've pretty much been able to experiment with stuff where you can, with stuff like trying things out that they wouldn't be able to do in the regular Pokemon games. I mean, yeah. Yeah, so Legends Arceus, a great game, but a pretty high difficulty curve. Because, like, after all, it is a lot different than the standard Pokemon games. And I guess, which is kind of why I guess Game Freak increased the difficulty of the game. Mainly because there's, like, a lot of other things in there that aren't usually in regular Pokemon games. For example, you can take fall damage, uh, and yeah. So there's a lot of like clever things in that game that make it a bit of a hard game, but I did manage to beat it. So yeah, definitely a lot of fun with that as well. And I'm also looking forward to Legends ZA when that releases later on this year. And right now, since we're at the beginning of March, I would have to say that that release is probably at least 7 months away. Although, given that the Pokemon games generally tend to release during the holiday season, this is looking probably more like a November release than a release. But I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, all they've said right now is late 2025 for the release window. Like, they'll probably give like a more concrete date once they're ready, like maybe in the summertime or something. Who knows? So yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus is another one of my favorite Pokemon games, despite how tough it is. And and then there's also Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I mean, now I know those games have kind of ran like dog crap on the Switch, but if you're able to look past those problems, it is a really solid Pokemon game. I mean, like the ability to go pretty much anywhere you want with no restrictions, and like the fact that like you can pretty much like the fact that Pokemon are like now seen in the overworld instead of like them being random encounters means that if there's like a certain Pokemon on a route that you do not want to catch, like you can just run right past them, which most of the time would be fine and dandy. But if you run like past a shiny and you don't even bother to check, then yeah, you pretty much screwed yourself. What other games have been on the Nintendo Switch during its life cycle that I've enjoyed a lot? Let's see. Uh, well, believe it or not, I actually have kind of been enjoying Smash Bros. Ultimate a bit more as of recent. I mean, now granted, like the online in that is fun, but like the story mode, I've actually been enjoying going through the story mode in that game. I mean, it's not too bad for what it is, and you can actually unlock a lot of fighters in that mode. So yeah, like that's how awesome it is. I would definitely recommend Smash, like for a Nintendo Switch collection. Let's see what else is there. Well, there is the Pokemon Let's Go games, of course. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Now, granted, those games are kind of they're a little bit on the easy side, but that's mainly because those games were made with the purpose of like introducing people who hadn't played Pokemon before to the franchise for the very first time. And for me, those games serve a bit of nostalgic purpose because those games are just like those essentially serve as modern day remakes of Pokemon Yellow if you, from like the late '90s, like the red, and that was a title that I really enjoy, along with Pokemon Red and Blue. Like I said, those were titles that I enjoyed a lot. Like when I was like 11 years old, 12 years old, what have you. So, so to play something like that is it's definitely one to bring back a lot of solid memories. So yeah, like even though, like I said, those games are definitely a bit on the easy side, they're still fun to play though. They're still a lot of fun to play. And there's also Pokemon Sword and Shield, which of course is one of the games that started the whole Dexit controversy. If you know, you know. And yeah, so those are definitely some of my favorite games that I've enjoyed playing on the Nintendo Switch over the 8 years that the system has been around. Oh, and let's not also forget Super Mario 3D World. Now, I know that that game originally started on the Wii U, but the Switch version, I feel, is definitely one of the best versions. It's definitely the best version of the game. Like, not to mention, there's also a side game in there, Bowser's Fury. That is a lot of fun. Like, I never finished the Bowser's Fury mode, but oh well. Oh, and there's a couple of other ones I'm forgetting about too. So I should probably go over those before I wrap this up. And these are more recent releases. One of which, of course, is Mario Party Jamboree, which I've sunk hundreds of hours into. Really fun game, no explanation needed. And then, of course, there's Mario and Luigi Brothership, which was the first brand new Mario and Luigi title at this point, like in 10 years. Which is definitely a long time in between entries for Mario and Luigi, but that was a game that I did enjoy a lot. Granted, it was ridiculously long, but still one that I enjoyed nonetheless. And yeah, so those are some of my favorite games I've played on the Nintendo Switch over the 8 years that the console has been around. And of course, once the Switch 2 comes out, there'll be some more great games that we'll get to play, some brand new games that we'll get to play, and we'll make brand new memories with that system as well. So, yeah, so that's going to do it here. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.